Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Talking About Rock, sponsored by School of Rock, Rochester, New York. Thank you for joining us, and as always, you can catch all our interviews on all the streaming platforms, wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode. And look for photos and our behind-the-scenes videos on our new website, talkingaboutrock.com. Today we have for you a Chilean singer and lyricist, best known as the former lead vocalist for Michael Schenker Group, Lords of the Black, Rainbow, and Vandenberg. He is here today to chat with us about his upcoming release, Raised on Heavy Radio, out January 27th from Frontiers Music. Next up, my interview with Ronnie Romero on Talking About Rock. Okay, let's welcome today's guest to the show, Ronnie Romero. Hello, Ronnie. How are you?
Hello. Fine, thank you.
Yeah, so I really like the tracks you selected to cover on this release. It really showcases your vocal abilities again for us.
Yeah, thank you. I try my best.
Yeah, so some standout tracks that I've been checking out, definitely Hallowed Be Thy Name from Iron Maiden. You got No More Tears on here from Ozzy, featuring Gus G, which was great.
Yeah.
You also have You Don't Know I'll Never Forget from Yngwie, and lots of stuff. Metal Days from Man of War, and a great cover of The Four Horsemen from Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
Just some great tracks. How did you go about selecting these tracks for this?
Well, it was pretty much the same that we did on the first record. I didn't want to go to the typical songs, and the people that know songs that are normally covered, or songs that the people would expect me to sing, right?
Right.
So since I'm a very big fan of all those bands, I really want to show something different. In many cases, deep cuts or songs that I think are a little underrated from the fans. So that's why we did a list, and it was like okay, this one. All the songs also are very related with my life. There's nothing nothing like I'm gonna do this just because. All the songs has an history, a story behind, related to my childhood, my teenaging, when I was in high school, listening those songs with my father, with friends. So that was the way.
And that's what makes great music, I think, right? Is all the emotions and the memories that are tied to so many of those great songs that, like you were saying, like we grew up with or we were influenced by.
I think that's the way you can actually really pay tribute to those songs, because you need to have a link with that music, right? It's not just to play because it must be something. And I can tell you all those songs if we go song by song, I can tell you a story about every song, so it's that's for me, that's great. And that's the only way that I can do a covers album.
Right, to have the true emotion and memories behind it. Sure, that's great. Yeah, and your lineup consists of, you have Jose Rubio on guitars, Javier Garcia on bass, you got Andy C on drums, and Alessandro Del Vecchio on keyboards, who just worked on, I believe, the Robin McCulley solo album live, because we just talked to Robin the other day. You got some great players here for sure.
Yeah, well, we did the first one with Alessandro also, and he was not only the keyboard player, but he was the producer of the album, and he was doing the mixing and mastering. So for me, it was pretty obvious to count on him again. He's a very multi-talented musician, so he can sing great, he can play keyboards really great, and he can produce music. So it was obvious to have him on board, and the rest of the guys are normally the guys that I have on my shows, on my records. Andy, I worked with Andy since Lords of Black from the beginning. Javi the same. Jose on the guitars is a guitar player I worked with many years ago, 10, 12 years ago in Spain, when I was starting way before Rainbow. So yeah, it's not only the songs are related to my life, but also the people involved. Even my wife is doing some backing vocals in some of the songs. So it's a kind of a very personal rendition to all those songs.
Great, great. Yeah, that is excellent. Yeah, well, I want to get into a little bit more about some of the previous bands and projects you covered, but I want to take a quick break right now, and let's play the video for Metal Days you're covering from Man of War, and we'll be right back here on Talking About Rock with Ronnie Romero.
I hear the sound in a mental way. I feel the power rolling down the stage. 'Cause one thing really sets me free. And being metal, low as it can be. Stage.
Okay, we're back here on Talking About Rock with Ronnie Romero. Just checked out the video for Metal Days. Great stuff. And I was listening to the tracks like we were talking about a little bit before. But you've been involved in quite a list of bands from the beginning. You know, Michael Schenker, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, Lords of the Black, Vandenberg with Adrian Vandenberg. You know, so many others. You know, what really stood out to me early on in your career was in 2014 you joined guitarist Tony Hernando for Lords of the Black. Thought that was some great stuff. Tell us a little bit about your time with them.
Well, actually, there was probably my first professional experience playing music. I was before that I was doing a couple of things in Spain, obviously way before, also in Chile, in my country. But then I remember Tony, who was very popular in Spain at that time already. He was doing a Dio tribute concert. That was 2012. Remembering that he died. He passed away 2 years before. So he invited me to sing a couple of songs, and the band was immediately like, okay, we need to work together. So we put this band together, and I think at the beginning we did 2 great records, and then suddenly happens that I joined Rainbow. So everything was even better for the band, because you got this, you were in the spotlight.
Right, a lot more exposure with Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, pretty iconic.
Yeah. So we did great music. Then we stopped for a while because I quit the band for a year, and then they wanted me to come back for new music, and then here we are. We did 5 records together already. I think every time I work with Tony is great. He's a great songwriter, great music, and then we're just thinking about to make a new album and try this time to go on tour, because since the pandemic we didn't have the chance to do any show. So I think it's time to go out.
Yeah, you guys just had some outstanding tracks with Lords of the Black. I really loved it. It was great. That stuff was awesome, definitely. And then in 2020, you hooked up with Michael Schenker. He announced he'd be participating in the upcoming Michael Schenker album, Immortal. So then you did work with him too. Tell us a little bit about your time there.
Yeah, actually, I was invited on 2019 to make a guest appearance on the album, to record 1 song, and then Michael really liked it, and then he invited me to go on tour with him playing that song. So it's supposed to be the Michael Schenker Fest with all the singers. Right. So we rehearsed, and then we're supposed to go to Japan with this tour, and then the pandemic came and didn't happen.
Right. Then, I think Robin was the one Robin McCauley joined too, and you had a much of the different singers, right?
It was Robbie McCauley, Dougie White, Gary Barden, Graham Bonnet, and myself. And then after that experience of rehearsing together, and I remember we did a rehearsal where the other singers didn't came, so I was singing all the songs during the rehearsal just for fun,
Right, sure, why not? You're there, work it out.
Exactly. And then Michael told me, what about if you become the permanent singer, so I don't need 5 singers for my show, just 1 singer.
He got to see you could showcase all these different songs, and you fit in very well with his material. So
and for him was great, because he also could bring this Michael Schenker Group brand back to the shows and onto the albums, and we started to work together since then, and we did an album after that, and then we went on tour, and the people really liked how we worked together, and we ended up doing another album, which is the last one, Universal, and doing the tour in the US together, and I think the people really like it and really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's so great to see all the new music come from him. You work with some great players for sure. And last year we kind of touched on it a little bit. You released your Raised on Radio while you were covering some different songs, and now we have the latest release coming, Raised on Heavy Radio from Frontiers Music, which is great. I'm really digging the tracks. We talked a little bit about them, some of the tracks, Metal Days. You got Turbo Lover on there, also No More Tears with Gus G sat in and is featured on that, which was great.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, you know, I had this idea for the second album to, okay, I'm gonna have some guest musicians, but in this case, I really want to have people playing on the specific song, and this person must be related with the song, as I do picking up the songs, right?
exactly.
So what is better to have the guy who actually played the song before?
Exactly.
So that was the idea, you know, and it was, and everybody I talked with, they were like really up to do it. I talked to Gus, he's a good friend of mine, and he say, are you up to do this? And he was like, sure, I will do it right away. And then he sent me a video recording the song, and he showed me I'm using exactly the same gear I use with Ozzy Osbourne on the records and on the tours I did with them. So it was like, this is the perfect, it's you know, it's fantastic, you know,
Yeah.
because we're doing a cover with an original guitar player using the original gear he was using for this song. So it's like, you know,
That's a perfect fit. And that's a question I ask all the musicians usually. What type of gear do you use, or do you have a preference, or do you change it up? But then he brought back that same gear and that same sound to that song, which that's outstanding. And I don't think the guy gets enough credit myself. He kind of gets overshadowed by a lot of the other players that Ozzy's had over the years, you know. So I don't really think he gets his due a lot of the times. But yeah, just another great player, and that was so cool that you brought him for the song, and he was happy to do that for you. I really like the cover they have on there for it. So very cool stuff. And I was also hearing something else, that we might be looking for an upcoming solo album from you coming up, possibly, right?
Yeah, actually, this is going to be the ice of the cake, because was the idea from the beginning. You know, the Frontiers record label, they were asking me to do a solo record some years ago. And I was like, I'm not sure to do it, you know, because I don't think it's the right moment to do a solo record. We're doing the album with Lords of Black. I'm touring with Michael Schenker, and
yeah, it would overshadow that a little bit, right? Yeah.
And for me, when a singer comes with the idea of a solo record, normally it's because he's tired of the other thing he's doing.
Right. He's looking for something more interesting.
Exactly.
Right.
And for me, it was like, no, I'm pretty happy with all the things I'm doing, so I don't think I need to do a solo record. So that's why they came with this idea to make, in the meantime, to make covers album, just for fun,
Right.
just to see how the people react, and to show my, you know, to show my roots about, you know, my musical taste and my musical influences. So the logical step after these two covers albums would be to make a solo record with original songs, and that was what we did.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect fit for sure. And these both are great. These two covers you came out with, these two cover albums, you know, really showcases your abilities exactly, you know, for all these songs. And like you said, there's a lot of relationship to this music for you personally, for different things in your life. And that's amazing. And I'm so happy to hear about the news from Lords of the Black, new music. Really love that stuff. I can't wait to see some of that stuff. And you guys do that live. That'll be outstanding. I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you keep in touch and let us know what's going on with the solo album. That will
I mean, the album, the solo album is ready. I believe it's going to be released. It's going to be released at the beginning of fall this year, probably September, October. And it's great because it's going to be like the people going to listen to this album with the original songs that I wrote with the guys, and they're going to understand the three albums together. Why this third album sounds like this is because of all this music he was playing before, and you know, he's related with him. So I think it's a kind of a trilogy of my story as a musician, and I think that's going to be great for the fans.
Yeah, definitely a great progression. It sounds really cool. Well, we hope you'll come back and join us and chat with us about that. It's been so great talking with you today. Really excited about that. So folks, check out Raised on Heavy Radio from Ronnie Romero, out January 27th from Frontiers Music. Ronnie, again, thank you so much, man, for coming and chatting with us today.
Thank you.
And if you folks out there have comments or questions, you want to know more about us, please feel free to email us at talkingaboutrock@gmail.com. You can like us and follow us on all the social media platforms. And for this interview, it'll be posted on our YouTube channel, and the audio will be streaming on all the platforms. Ronnie, again, man, thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Same to you. Bye.
Bye.